Hello everyone. Sorry, I was late. I was late. I literally clicked live and then realized I didn't have a beverage, a drink next to me, and that was probably a bad idea. So went and got one. Um, Here we are now, and surprise, it's me. Hello. This video kind of needs the in-person element, so I'm using the webcam for the first time in like 6 months. What beverage did you get, Megabus? I got a summer fruit squash. I'm on a diet, so I can't drink anything like exciting. I've had my can of Coke. I can't have another can of Coke until like 7 p.m. So it's just squash for the moment. Welcome, Tom. By the way, welcome to the stream. For the past few months, not sure if I've tweeted that much about it. I've been in the process of buying up and beating every Tekken game I can in the series, and finally today I'm finished with Tekken. It's done. We are finally done. Whoa, MegaBM isn't run by Fabian Delph? I know, crazy, right? It's crazy. I'm actually not Fabian Delph. I wish I was. I wish I was that man. But finally finished them all today. They're all done, and to finish them off, we're going to be doing a ranking of the series, kind of talking about my thoughts on each title, and in some cases different multiplats of the same title, where there are some slight differences between like versions of the same game for some reason. There's not actually that many in Tekken, luckily. I'm working on Mario at the moment, and that one's just absolute nightmare. So we'll get to that eventually in 2 years. So at the moment, we can at the very least rank the Tekken ones. I have them all physically. Every game here. There's a pile here and another pile there. This is all the Tekken games that have come out physically in the West. There are a couple of interesting like exceptions that I made, or certain games that I don't count or couldn't play. But we'll get to them. We'll get to them. So, Brandon, quick question: what's your favorite digestive flavor? Dark chocolate. It's dark chocolate all the way. It's got to be. You can't come at me and say the milk chocolate's better than dark. I'm sorry. It's just a fact. It's just a fact that dark is the best one. Um, I'm glad that you agree, Tom. I'm glad that there's someone out there with sense that the dark chocolate is the best version. So, here's our ranking list. I've had to add 4 at the bottom here with the white border, that's why they're not cropped properly. Because it was missing. And there's a few here that we have to kind of talk about separately. Just going to... Hold on. You have some in your snack drawer right now. See, that's kind of real. That's kind of real. I wish I did. I wish I did. Let me just drag. I need to drag this thing here so I can see when, in case there's an ad coming up, we can kind of like either delay it or like just not quite do the tier list until it's gone. Let's move that around real quick. There we go. So, Connor's playing the forest by himself, I think. That's weird. We were playing that last night. So, if I think the best way to start is to go for the... I'll be lucky playing Hitman and hitting 360 no scopes. No problem, Tom. That's no problem. You enjoy. I'm just going to be talking shit, to be quite honest. Just be talking shit. This is going to be uploaded on the YouTube channel anyway. So, people who aren't here can see it afterwards. So I'll start with the stuff that we can't rank. That's why I've added this extra tier here. Didn't play. There's a few games that do fit this category. The first one is down here, Tekken 8. Mostly because it's not out. I haven't bought it yet. It comes out, I think, next week. And I will be buying both versions, PS5 and Series X. I will have both. But at the moment, I have no experience of it because it's literally just coming out. Tekken Revolution, which was the free-to-play version that PS3 had in like 2011. It shut down years ago. It's not available. We can't play it, so unfortunately can't rank that one. Street Fighter X Tekken. I haven't done on a technicality that it's actually a Street Fighter game and not a Tekken game. It's got Tekken characters in it, but it plays like a Street Fighter game. It's developed by Capcom. It's a 2D fighter. It's the least Tekken game, and I don't count it as a Tekken game. And the final one is where is it? I can see it somewhere. There it is. Tekken Card Challenge. I didn't do Tekken Card Challenge. I was going to. But this game is expensive. I would have to have bought a WonderSwan color to buy it, to play it, because it only came out on the WonderSwan and it wasn't ported, I don't think, to anything else. And to be honest, I don't want to spend almost £100 to play a game I may not understand or like. So I didn't play it. If there was if I could play in English legally somewhere else, I would do it, but I can't. It sounds like it kind of plays like the Pokemon TCG a little bit, but can't rank it. So that's the only 4 we can't play. I couldn't do. One's not out. One can't be played. These 2 can't really be played. This one's only in Japan. I'd have to import the thing. And Street Fighter X Tekken I don't count as a Tekken game. So we can go on to the rest of them. I have the rest of them all over here. We'll go through release order. So we have Tekken 1. First game in the series. Rough as fuck. This was not enjoyable. To go back to. It has aged, in my opinion, like milk. It plays extremely slow. And the game just cheats, to be honest. It just cheats. Like, it just clearly button reads in the later parts of arcade mode. Heihachi is an actual twat. It's D tier. At the time, I'm glad it exists. It invented Tekken. It has a place in history, but it should stay in the history books and not come back unless they fully remake Tekken 1, which they won't do. I don't think they see any point. That's another thing, is the lack of accessibility on the older titles in the series. Very strange that they port like really specific versions. I think PlayStation 4 just got Tekken 6 PSP just came out on it for some reason. That was a weird release. But Tekken 1, not worth it. Tekken 2, this one, mine has the, I'm not sure if all Tekken 2s have this. A lot of Namco stuff had this. This has the Point Blank demo as well on the back, which I can't play because I don't have a CRT TV. Tekken 2 aged a lot better than Tekken 1. Aged a lot better, it's a lot faster. It still has a bit of that jank kind of moon jump, early 3D fighter stuff going on, but I think it's a lot more balanced. It doesn't button read quite as bad. It still does occasionally. I think sometimes the game can be a bit of a prick, but I think it's a lot more playable. You can go back to this one now and I think have some enjoyment, whereas I think the first one is a complete no-go. Tekken 2 gets C tier. Right, let's just snooze that real quick so we don't get an ad. Tekken 3. This is the game I think that changed the series for the better. This is a absolutely fantastic game. Absolutely. The jumping quality between Tekken 2 and 3 is astounding when you go between the two of them. This plays so much more like the modern style Tekken games. You can clearly see the progression into the PS2 and PS3 eras came from this. It's a lot faster. The moon jumping has been reduced. It's pixelated, but the models look great for the PlayStation 1. Like, it looks good for a PS1, like, 3D fighting game. Fantastic. The balance is fantastic. I think they also got kind of just almost a perfect character roster, I feel like, was made in this game. It's, to me, Tekken 3 is an S. Just for its historical impact and the fact it's still playable now. You can go back and still play Tekken 3 and it'll play perfectly fine. Next up, that's the 5th gen games done. That's just those 3. I think Tekken Card Challenge, I think, technically counts as a 5th gen game. 6th gen, so the PS2 generation. The first game is Tekken Tag Tournament. Ignore the CX and other stickers on it. It's an absolute terrible condition, this game. This is not really the copy that I want to keep, because it got a remake. Tekken Tag Tournament, great idea. For the first game for the PS2, interesting idea. But plays perfectly well. Has every character up to that point except Gon. And I think it looks okay. I think it plays well. Maybe not as good as like Tekken 5 on the PS2 plays much smoother, much more modern than this one does. But this still is definitely a playable game. I think and the Tekken Tag idea is fantastic. Really, they really run with it in the second one. It's so cool. I think it's probably, again, historical impact, but it puts it up to A. I think it's fantastic. Tekken Advance. Right, this was an interesting one. This was one of the few games before I went through and collected them all and played them all I had never played or seen footage of. I was completely blind playing this one. As you can see, I got a repro case. We made this myself with a DS case and printed it. Actually, it's the real game. But in like a fake case, because I'm not paying the money it costs to get the real box, which I will just rip. Tekken Advance is a port of 3 to the Game Boy Advance, and it's very, very good for a PS1 game on a GBA. Runs really well. I think it plays quite decently. I managed to finish the thing. I would rather play this than Tekken 1 and 2. I think it plays nicer. It's not anywhere near close to like Tag and 3, but this is a perfectly comparable, portable Tekken game. If you can get it cheap, definitely worth giving a go, 100%. It's weird that this was kind of... We didn't get another one until the PSP. It's strange we didn't get like a DS game for Tekken. Very odd. I think it goes B tier, Tekken Advance. I'm very happy with it. I thought it was surprisingly good. Just going to keep snoozing so I don't get interrupted. Tekken 4. Tekken 4. This is a very, very controversial game from the series. It was the first mainline on the PS2, and it was the first time I think the games really tried to kind of build the storyline. They'd done the story in the first 3 games, but I think it was kind of background in the manuals. It wasn't like that serious. I think Tekken 4 was when they were trying to take it seriously, and it backfired immensely. The fact that the cutscenes in this game and the voice acting is horrific, very cheesy. That said, I think the gameplay is good. I think it's good, but it will be overshadowed forever by its sequel, which massively improved on it. I do like it. I think Tekken 4 is a perfectly good Tekken game. I think it's probably a B tier. I think it's worth being there, but if you want to know just Tekken story, and you're not going to watch like a long essay on YouTube about it, You have to play this game, and I think it would be kind of a bit of a low point between 3 and 5. Right, Tekken 5. There we go, Tekken 5. This was for a long time. Between 3 and this is my favourite Tekken game. This is near perfection in terms of 3D fighting games. It's perfectly balanced, fast, responsive. All the characters are great. The story is fine, but it doesn't like overtake the game, a bit like Tekken 4 did. It's perfectly does its job, gets over there. All the new characters are great in this game. Every single one they added was good. Tekken 5 is an S. Tekken 5 is an absolute, I think, the high point of the series. I think, despite improvements to gameplay, this point forward, I feel like they've never really hit the same level that Tekken 5 was at since it came out. Next is Tekken Dark Resurrection on the PSP, which is a portable version of Tekken 5. This is such a... I can never get over like UMDs. The UMDs like just look so alien. Tekken Dark Resurrection is the same game as Tekken 5. I think it plays worse. I don't think it's as responsive, but that's expected. It's on a handheld that's less powerful. It did add some character. It added Dragunov and Lily, right? I think that's the only two added to, who I think are both good characters. Actually, I like them. It's for a first attempt since Advance for portable Tekken. This is a massive upgrade, by the way. Massive upgrade. Perfectly like reasonable to play it, I think. Got a notification. Let's just clear that real quick. No, it's just Fraser. Got notification from a server. Let's just clear that because it's going to annoy me. But yeah, perfectly good version. If you have the PSP, highly recommend getting this game. I think it's perfectly good. I think for PSP library, this is a must. For Tekken series, it's good. I think it's a good portable version. It probably goes A tier because it's Tekken 5. But I still play the original version on PS2 first. Death by Degrees. Okay. Let's just move up there. Yep. Death by Degrees. So this, if you're a Tekken collector, like if you're into the series, you will know what this game is. You know what this is. This is a strange spin-off, like one-off they did with Nina Williams, where it's not a 2D fighting game or 3D fighting game. It's like almost like it's like an action game, kind of like Streets of Rage almost, where you go along and beat up enemies and move to the next area and then beat up more enemies there, blah blah blah. With Nina, it has the most cumbersome control method I've used in a long time. You dodge by kind of quickly tapping the left stick in the direction you want to move, and to attack you point in that direction with the right stick. It's so bizarre, and it does not feel nice to play. It plays really badly. Every control method in this game doesn't work, and just ruins the game. This is the only game on this list I didn't finish. I dropped this one after like over an hour. I went. I'm not playing this anymore. I googled it. I wanted to Google it to see if the game got better, and the general consensus was the game was bad. I was like, I'm not playing this game anymore, because not only is this game bad and a very one-off spin-off, this is expensive. This is a rare game. This is the most expensive game in the set that I had to buy, and was the last one I bought. This cost me £45, I believe, to buy. There's just no copies of this going. Like, very few. In good condition. Because this is a good condition of the game. Good condition. I can probably make my money back straight away on this game. I never want to play this. This is just a collection piece, I think, to not just myself. This would be a collection piece to anyone. Not worth playing at all. Definitely 100% the worst game in the series. Death by Degrees is D tier. It is absolutely horrific. I would not recommend it to anyone. Now, Tekken 6. Tekken 6 has got a couple, so we'll talk about the home console version first. Because there are 3 versions of Tekken 6. So you've got the 360 and PS3 version of this game. Home console port is good. Has the strange side-scrolling story mode. Similar to Death by Degrees, but controls a lot better. And doesn't use the stupid control stick control measure. I genuinely, without doing it yourself, I don't think you realize how bad it is. It sounds stupid until you play it, and it's even worse. This isn't like that. It kind of locks on. That said, story mode I don't think is very good in this game. It kind of felt like a downgrade from Tekken 5. I think it plays perfectly fine, but just felt a bit like what you've done is it kind of just felt like a HD upgrade to Tekken 5's engine, then added in these bullshit boss battles with Nancy and Azazel, which feel like just fucking bullshit. Especially the Nancy fight is so bullshit. And like in the story mode, I remember the story mode, Jin is a fucking dickhead to fight. I hated that fight. I didn't ever beat the... It's like is it the ghost train? It's like a train level. Terrible. Just like after you beat the game, it's fucking awful level to play. The game's just not good enough, like control-wise. That said, they play well because it's playing off like the Tekken 5 style in HD. It plays well. I think it's just a very forgettable game in the series. I think it's probably a B tier, maybe a C tier actually. I think it's C tier. I think it's actually C tier. But they're not the only ones, because we also got a PSP port, which I did mention earlier. The PSP port of Tekken 6. This is incredible that this exists. This is incredible. So, considering the PSP is like a PS2, the fact that this runs as well as it does is amazing. It has all the stuff except the scenario campaign. It has everything else in this game, and runs nicely. The story mode is really short for each character. It has a much more like traditional Tekken story mode system that's just really short. But I'm gonna get a quick drink. Perfectly good. I think it's better than the home console. I think because it's portable and it's more impressive, I feel like it deserves to be higher. Right, next up is Tekken Hybrid. Tekken Hybrid. This is a weird release. This was a weird release. This is basically like a combo pack of Tekken media. So you've got Tekken Tag 1 on the PS2, you got that in HD. You've got the Tekken Tag 2 prologue, kind of like demo, and the Tekken Blood Vengeance movie. This is such a weird release. Such a weird release. And it played well. I mean, it's Tekken Tag 1. Like, it's Tekken... Pretty much Tekken Tag 1 is kind of the reason this game exists. That is a HD version of it. I feel like just for that, it's A tier. But the other 2 points of it are completely null and void. This is just a HD version of Tekken Tag. That's what it should have just been. It felt like they tried. They wanted to do a re-release of Tekken Tag One, but didn't know how to sell it by itself, so they just bundled it with other stuff. Next up is... Did that come out after? I swear it came out before. It must have come out after, okay. Tekken Tag 2. This also has 2 versions I've put on there. I've added another version on. So, there's 3 versions of this game as well. You got here. I won't explain this one. So, the reason there's 2 versions is you have the regular Tekken Tag 2 for 360 and PS3. And you also have Tekken Tag 2 Wii U Edition, and it specifically says Wii U Edition, because this does have more content on it, extra stuff like Mushroom Battle and Tekken Ball, all in this. It's slightly better than these versions. It has a bit more content. That said, that doesn't make these bad at all. In fact, Tekken Tag 2 360 is the version I've played the most of. Played a lot of Tekken Tag 360. These 2 here. I would say, instant gameplay wise, just enjoyment wise, I think this is the best Tekken game we've ever got. This really kind of surprised me, considering Tekken 3 and Tekken 5 for a long time were my favourites. It never felt we really got there. Tekken Tag 2 on the 360 was a mind fuck. Just a complete out of nowhere direction change. It was so much better than I thought it was going to be. S tier. And not only that, but the fact that it had, again, every character in Tekken's history that you could play as, except Gon again. It also didn't have like Azazel or Nancy, because obviously they're big behemoths. You couldn't really play as them. The balancing wouldn't work. They didn't try to make it work like Mortal Kombat Armageddon did. It was just shit. Now then, look at that, S2. So, what does that make me think of the Wii U version? The Wii U version is worse. I think it's worse than those, just from control scheme. I think the Wii U gamepad was not built for fighting games. Specifically the D-pad, I don't think it's very good at them. For this version, this plays well. Like it's a near seamless port. It's got good content to it. I just don't want to play this as much as I want to play the 360 version. Just the 360 version just feels like it plays better. That said, I feel hard pressed to move it down. I feel like I might just have to put it in S tier as well. Just nah. I'm going A tier. I feel like it's just not as enjoyable. Next up is Tekken 3D. Tekken 3D. So, this release, again, ignore the massive sticker on it that I couldn't get off because it's fucking super glued onto the thing. Tekken 3D, impressive piece of hardware they've done here, including the I think this also has Blood Vengeance. Does it have Blood Vengeance on as well? I feel like this has both Tekken. It's a port of Tekken 6 and the Blood Vengeance movie. They were really trying to get that Blood Vengeance movie out for some reason. I don't know why. It's not even very good. This game, whilst technically impressive, lacks so much content that it's not worth playing. It's not worth it. There's not even like a proper arcade mode, really, if I remember correctly. Like, there's no story to it. It's just like a Tekken game on the go. You could just do a couple of fights, blah blah blah, done. That seemed to be kind of the only thing they did with it. Just really rushed out the door. Not much effort put into it. Tekken 3D is probably C tier. It's not a bad game. I think D tier is like bad games. It's just completely bland and forgettable. I think most people forget this came out. I think it's quite an early release in the 3DS lineup as well. I think it's quite an early one. Next is Pokken Tournament, the base game on Wii U. Pokken Tournament. So for some reason this tier list didn't have the Pokken games. I considered them Tekken games and Pokemon games, but primarily Tekken games because they're developed by Namco. They're fighting games and 3D fighting games. They play like Tekken games. Like, they're Tekken games. This version in particular, so there's two versions of Pokken. There's obviously the Switch Definitive Edition they made a year after, I think it's a year or two after this version. The Wii U version actually does control well, except the shield button being the left bumper is a awkward placement on the controller. Because of the way I hold, maybe it's just me, the way I hold it with like my index finger on the trigger and the bumper is above my finger, I have to constantly move to hit the bumper or keep my hand in an awkward position like that the entire time because it's so much higher than the rest of the controller. It made it like annoying to play. I did finish it, but I will say with both Pokken games, the story mode is way too long. It's way too long. It's like 100 fights each, and you constant fights, like non-stop, back to back, nothing different except the Pokemon you're fighting. Just felt like a drag. It just felt like you could have done something more interesting with the storyline, and you just kind of just dragged it out of fights. I think Pokken is probably, I think it's B. It's good. It's fine. I feel like you needed a lot more Pokemon. I think if there was probably double the roster, it wouldn't have been as boring. Because excuse me. Because there's only like, I want to say like 18 Pokemon in this game in particular. You fight the same Pokemon like 6 times each, and it just gets boring. It kind of predictable what they're gonna do by the time you get to the A League. Like the Chroma League was so boring. Oh my god, it took me ages, just grinding as well. And that's if you win. If you win every fight, it's slow. Imagine if you don't win every fight. Like, you take even longer to get through the game. Jesus, I don't know why they did that. Tekken 7. Got both of them here. There we are, Tekken 7. I haven't played the VR mode in Tekken 7. I haven't got a VR headset. PS4. Maybe I will at some point. I might like do kind of a small update to this at some point when Tekken 8's out. And if I've done that. Tekken 7. Fantastic. Gameplay wise, I think it's absolutely perfection. I think they've really, really just did such a good job on back of kind of Tekken 6 being quite underwhelming in my opinion. Tekken 7 is so much, is even faster. All the new stuff, all the new characters, and it's fantastic. They did a great job. There's a lack of content. There's a lack of content in this game, and I think it's a common thing with fighting games this generation in the Xbox One generation was just not enough content for the game. It was just fights like online. You had a very small campaign, took like 2 hours to do, and that was it. I feel like you could have made more interesting stuff with this game, but you didn't. What happened to the days of like Virtua Fighter 4? Virtua Fighter 4 and like Virtua Fighter 5 have these like outrageously long story modes for no reason. Virtua Fighter 5 story in my head takes like hours upon hours to finish. Like to do everything in is like I can't even imagine like how long it would take. Tekken 7 though, gameplay wise, great. Lack of content. I think Tekken 7 averages out to an A. I think it's like an A tier game. And in terms of DLC, I have bought the DLC for the Xbox One version because this is the game I bought launch day when it came out. Tekken 7. I like the DLC in this game. I think they did a really good job on the characters they added, a lot better than I thought they did to Soul Calibur 6. Soul Calibur 6 was much worse. The guests in this game were weird, like just strange choices. Geese Howard, good. I'm glad there's some Neo Geo in there. That's interesting. You had Noctis from Final Fantasy 15, was odd, and Negan from Walking Dead was the most random pick of a character I've ever heard. I don't know where that came from. What was that about? And obviously they had Akuma in this game as well from Street Fighter. Some really good guest characters turn up in this game. And yeah, I'm glad. I mean, the fact that this is like the end of the Heihachi era, because he's not in Tekken 8, which is unfortunate because he's one of my mains in Tekken. He's not in Tekken 8. Maybe he is, and they just hid him, and he's like unlockable. But as far as I'm aware, he's not in the game, and that's unfortunate because he's like in my opinion, the face of Tekken. Yeah. And finally, last game. The only Switch one, Pokken Tournament DX. So this is the expanded version of Pokken Tournament Wii U. A bit like a lot of the Nintendo stuff on the early Switch years, for the first 3 years, they just took all their Wii U content and beefed it up with extra stuff and just re-released it to sell better on the Switch, which worked, did well in terms of numbers. This version probably plays better. Obviously it has more Pokemon, so it's less boring, because you do get some like, oh, Decidueye, that's a fun Pokemon to fight. Didn't have him in the first game. And then, like, having a better controller, like the Pro Controller, to play this on was so much nicer. Oh, bloody hell. That said, it's still Pokken. It still had the grind of story mode to do. But I think it did a lot better. I think it's better just because it had more Pokemon. I still think it needed another, like, 10 to, like, not be that boring. There's just too much grind in the later leagues. There's too much grind. It's still pretty 8 here. I think it's good. I think we need a new Pokken. I think we need a new one. And that's it. That is gonna be our list. There we go. And that's gonna be it. I'm gonna say that's the end. It's gonna be uploaded on YouTube as well. Just thought I'd stream it rather than just record it. I thought it'd be more interesting doing that. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next stream. Bye.